Hey, what's going on, everyone? We'll be working through our blogs still. Got some stuff still left to do on that one, but we're getting close to being done with that. We want to add the blog navigation, so we want a front and a back arrow. Front. I don't know. We'll figure it out. The front arrow will be on one side, the back arrow will be on the other side. We'll also want to use or continue our category work Monday and get those on our cards. And I'm thinking we'll do that over an image. Not too sure yet. We'll mess around with it. And then we're going to clean up components. I did some of this, I guess it must have been yesterday, or I just really wanted to figure out how to get a lot of my type errors to go away. So I spent a little bit of time working on this, and I figured it out. So the problem now, though, is that some of our images aren't showing up, but everything that we're working on to start with is all good. So we're going to go ahead and jump over to our blog. And here's one example. So maybe we start with this. So if we go to our content with media block, content with media. Oh, this is like the actual block. I need it in the app. Blocks. All right, content with media. And a few other things got messed up with this as well, so we'll figure all of that out here in a minute. But the main thing is that I realized I did not need to be creating my own types for all of this because Payload does it for me. So you can see here we've got media and button, so that's two things. But as we can see, if we put this over to the right, this over to the left, this image is broken. And so if I inspect it, we see, I don't actually know what we see. It looks like a bunch of nothing. Oh, I think it's because the URL of the image is wrong. So if I look in my image object, here we can, I don't want to log it there. If we log our image here, this is to the right, yes. Text position foreground, text position is not foreground, left. So here's where I want to return that. So let's do log, and we'll log the image. So let's see what response we get. And so I see the file name. That would be correct. So it looks like I need to do image dot, whoops. C dot. So I think then the problem is if I do this and then log, oops, not in the return. I want to log it here. We log the image. And so it comes in right, test out file name. So image.filename. And I get it right away. So now the problem is that it's not getting into the component here, and I'm not sure why. And then this is the actual next image component, so that's not what we're looking for. But then if we look at the script, let's see what we get here. All right, so it's saying it's undefined. And I'm wondering if that's because it's a depth thing. We'll take a look here in a second. Don't need any of that. So now in our blog page, we've got our query blog here. So I don't have a select field, but I do have depth. So why don't we add depth to be 2? Okay, that's not it. 3. All right, so it does not appear to be a depth thing. Well, I'm in the wrong page. Oh, let's get this to be charged in here. All right, so we actually need to go to our slug. Nope, our blog slug. So this is where we're actually working out of. All right, so we've got our query blog. Let's get rid of query category because we're not doing that anymore. And then let's check depth here. Oh, here we go. So here it seems that we have an issue, but if I do content image, here. Well, no, because that's up here. It's still wrong. No, so that works. So that means, what does that mean? Well, let's take a look at our types. So we've got our blog. We got our props. All right. So our function, we've got our blog. If there's a blog, we've got content. So content.image.image. I'm going to log our content.image and see what our response looks like there. Oh, I need to not log this anymore. All right, so we have our content image. So then we come down here. So this is probably in our show blocks. So let's go to our serialized lexical. All right. We got to take a detour, I think. Or no, before we take a detour, because what we need to do actually is redo our rich text render. And I just did a video on this that'll be coming out soon, so hopefully we'll be able to give a little sneak peek to that now. But what I want to do is really focus because we need to get our blog navigation working. So first we're going to design it. So if we come to the end of all of our blocks here, but above related posts, we're going to then have a new, yeah, we can call it a section. So we'll have a new section. It's going to have 2 divs. One is going to be next post. One is going to be previous post. And then here's where we're going to figure out which way they need to go. So it should be, or I could do this differently and just do something like let's go to our material icons. Left arrow. Okay, maybe just left. Yeah, so we'll do this one. Just copy that. Drop you in there. And then we'll do, I think we'll need another div in here. So we'll do another div, not dive, which will also have paragraph, which will be content title. And then we want to change our color. No, doesn't look like it even showed up. All right, so then we're going to have the other direction. So we'll do right. I don't remember what I did, but I'm going to change it to be arrow forward. So let's copy that inside of another div. Copy that there. And then we'll do content title. And then let's go back and do, whoops, back, arrow back. All right, so let's copy that and replace this SVG. So if I save that, we now have an arrow forward and an arrow back. And then we can do some styling. So this is all going to be a component. We know that. So let's go ahead and start making that component up. I'm going to get this screen a little bit wider. And let's go down to our components. And we'll do, I think I have nav, but I don't really want to do anything there. So we'll do, let's do a new, well, no, because it is going to be nav. So we'll do a new, but that has a different implication. So we're going to do new directory and do blog nav. Then we're going to do a new TypeScript and then just do index. And if we need to move this, we can, but we'll just do export. We'll do const blog nav component is not what I'm looking for. But we can do post. And then we can, which I think actually I need to do it this way. Post, post. And then we can return all that stuff. So we then know that our post, we're going to have post dot, oh, okay, title. I was a little concerned there for a second. Post title, post title. So here we need to do something with, we do our shoot, my camera's gone. Ugh. My camera has been the worst recently. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Just means I've got to do something different. All right, so here though, we don't actually need the type to be post because what we're actually grabbing is this needs to be a link, as does this one. Oops. No, yeah, that was right. Okay, so link here. And this needs to stay as a div. And what we need is next previous. So we can just do well, the thing is that we still need this to be a post. Yes, so yeah, I don't think that's gonna be right. So let's just figure this out real quick. So we'll have next title, or I guess previous title for back. This is so difficult to figure out. And then prev title. And then we need draft to be our blog slash prev slug, and then this needs to be next slug. And so then I guess we need next to be need a title string, and this is optional because it may not exist. And then so title slug string. Oh wait, no, this needs to be next. So we do next there. And then we do prev here. So this we can set to be next. And then this one, if it has a previous, oops. Okay, and then previous title string slug string. And then up here, make that optional as well. So we come back over here to our blog page, and we can change all of this to be our blog nav, which will need a next and a prev. Now here's where things get interesting. Because what I'm thinking is that we need to have a different blog for the next and for the previous. Oh, so I can actually just do it this way. So instead of all of that, which good, so we can do next and set this to be a post. And then previous can also be a post. And those both exist there, so now we can have a previous post and a next post. But we need to query those first. So let's get rid of this console log. And we will come below our related posts, and then we're going to do const next equals await query blog, and we need to do a query. So const will actually be next query, and that'll be if date is greater than I guess post, what do I have? Oh, it's blog dot date, and slug, well, so slug can't equal the next blog anyway. All right, so we can do const next equals, let's do get next. And that's going to equal, oh wait, query blog. We'll do slug is next query, not limit next query, but limit is just 1. And then we can do the same thing for previous. And this is going to be less than blog date. And here we want to actually sort differently, I believe. So we're going to find out in just a second. Yeah, we'll have to handle that in a different way. So now instead of get next, we'll do get prev. And then we can do prev query, limit 1. And then let's see if this works. I haven't tried this before, but I don't see why it wouldn't work. Because if this does work, I'll then change them to be next and prev. Not next query, get next. And then over here, get prev. Let's see what happens. Test, this is my featured post. Test, copy, copy. If I click this, then future blog. Yep, okay, blog test. And then we go all the way through, because I don't have a lot. Test 2. So test seems to be the one that continually so if I hit here future, test then becomes the next one. But then if I do this, it's still there. So there's something wrong with my going back. So we need to figure out how to change this from doing that. All right, so we've got our next, or get next query. So I think it's going to be something with sorting. And so what we're going to do is in our query, we're going to sort real quick just on minus date, just to see what happens. Test, okay, just in case that's actually what's supposed to be. So that's not it either. All right. So one question. So maybe it needs to be greater than equal, or I think this might be like a weird date thing. So let's go look at our backend. So let's log in, localhost. That's the wrong password. I promise I'm going to remember this one time. Okay. Now we're going to go to our posts, and here we have our test. So it's going to be greater than... Let's see here. So date, it's always going to be greater than. So it's taking the first greater than. Okay, so that makes sense. We needed to not take the first greater than. We needed to take the next one in line. So let's think through how to do that. So all right, so let's try. So first of all, let's do a sort, and we're just going to do a sort string here. Add in sort string. I believe I can set a default to be date like that, which fixes that. So then if I do test 2, All right, let's have this open to check the order. So the first one is my test2, and then next. So test2 is the title. Oh, let me sort by date. That was weird. Okay. So we have test2, which comes before lorem ipsum dolor sit emit. And then we've got our, this is a test title. Perfect. So I just needed to change the sort for these, which is great. And then I need to change the sort string for our related posts because I would like it to be negative date. So it's sorting descending now. All right, and then that fixed that, and then everything else should be good. So let's give this some styles. Let's go ahead and get this back to a 50-50 split. Go over to our blog nav, and then create a new style sheet, index.module. And we're going to use CSS, what is it, vars, as, and then also our queries. Everything needs a semicolon. Okay, great. So we've got our container. So we know we need to have a blog nav container. We're then gonna need blog nav items, and then individually we're gonna need a blog. Let's do next blog, and then a previous blog, and then we'll start with that. So let's go ahead and apply these. So we've got class name. We'll do, oh, I need to import. So import classes from index classes, and this is the container. And then instead of having to type that every time, we've got our, we'll say next there. I don't know if I'm going to need items. We'll see here in a second. So we'll do this one as next blog, previous blog. Cool. And then can I just make this sort be optional? Yes. All right, so we know we're going to need this to be flex. We're going to need it to be, I'll just set this explicitly, flex row. And then we're going to do, yes, flex wrap, and then we can just do flex where we'll let it grow, we'll let it shrink, and then we want 50%, well, that doesn't actually go there, but 1 rem here. Everything is always 1 rem. And then I don't know if I'm going to need actual individual ones. So we'll see here in a second. Because if I can... no, I don't think I'm going to. So I'm going to set this to be item. And then I can do flex 1 calc 50 minus 1 rem. And then I'm going to set these to be blog nav item. All right, perfect. So... oh, no. So I am going to need over here our class name. See, I know things. Classes dot next blog. Let's close this. I'm starting to run out of screen space. Let's make this into a 1 column because I'm trying to see things here. All right, so next blog, and then we'll do our previous blog. Nope. Prev blog. All right. So now next blog and previous blog are going to be display, flex, align items, center, justify content, flex start. See what this does. Okay. And then we're going to need a gap of 1 rem. There we go. And then our thing here actually needs to flip. Then let's do, I think I need to do display flex again. Then align items stretch. Because now, what I'll do is give, all right, so this needs to be items because I think everything in, well, no, wrong. So we'll do flex end here. And now in each of these, we'll have a border of, we'll say 1 pick solid, variable dark primary. Okay. And then each of them a padding of 1 rem, because everything is 1 rem always. All right, so far so good. Now we don't want this to shrink, and we want test2 to always be 50% as well as our featured post. What is it? Thought that was right. Oh, it is. It's just the problem that I need to do justify content, space between, should line them up. I guess it's this one that needs to happen. So yes, so let's take a look at the inspector. And we see, oh, okay, so this is the actual nav item. Interesting. Okay, so nav item needs to go away, it seems. No, that's already there. Then move you up here. Get rid of our blog nav item. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. Ah, there we go. The little engine that could. There we go, so that looks better. So now we can do our justify content, space between. And that should get it to be matching the edges here. I don't know why the refresh isn't so great right now. All right, so now it shouldn't matter what width this stuff is. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it always is able to Okay. Test 2, this is the test title. I would like it to fill up the whole space that's available in that 50%. And then also, let's do a margin 1 rem 0. So nothing on the left and right, but 1 on the top and bottom. Okay, great. So what's going on here where it won't take up all of the available space? So I know there's this gap, but the gap is minimal. Space between. So maybe I need to do a width of 100%. It says I'm not sending enough video to maintain a smooth stream. Yeah, it looks like I'm dropping some frames. Here, let me close some apps real quick that I don't need. See if that helps. I normally do this beforehand, but let's go ahead and close this as well. Shouldn't need that anymore. All right, hopefully that quality gets better. Okay. So back to this. Let's figure out, not space between. Okay, I think we're good again. I guess my computer was trying a little too hard. So we want this. Ugh, I cannot spell. To be width of 100%. All right, so not 100%, but with auto. Okay, so no. All right, so let's mess around with, oh, it's because I need to move this there. So it should be able to take up let's see. Blog item, which is this. So let's set that back up and do class name, classes, blog item, and then set the flex in there. Okay, that's better. I mean, it doesn't look great, but it is better. So let's do, let it do grow and shrink. Okay. So maybe don't grow. It's all about trial and error, right? All right, is that really one? Do I even need this gap of 1? No, not really. But anyway, so all right, so that's what it'll do probably at, honestly at this screen size, this is what it needs to do. So we'll leave it like that, and then at include, we'll say like a small break. I don't know what that's gonna look like. Let's just set background color to pink to figure out where this is. Or I guess pale green. So small. I wonder if my internet's having issues and that's why it's been like this. All right, so pale green. Oh, I was right at it. All right, so here is where we'll do our can do 50%. And really this can just be 100%. And so here I don't really want test2 to take up all of that space though. I don't think that's actually a thing. So if we do 1, but then if we do flex, and we can do 1, 0, say 50%. So that's not going to work. Okay, well, it's not the end of the world. I do still like it, so I think we're okay. So if I go back, that's all good. And then we can see what it looks like as we expand, and that looks fine even there, all the way up to the end. So yeah, don't hate that. But I still think there's something wrong with the order here. So yes, there's definitely something wrong with the order here. So let's do our previous, which is going to need, we'll say, sort of descending, descending date. All right, so now we have test 2, which is the first one. We hit next, and we have our lorem ipsum 1. Previously is test 2. Next is this is a test title. Then we have, this is the test titles where we are now. So this is test 3. Yep, lorem ipsum, nice. This is my new featured post should be next. Come down, then we have future. This is a test title, yes. And then should be test as the final one. And then future blog as the one before it. Okay, so we're all good there. This doesn't look stellar. So let's get this to be a stretchy as well. Which I thought this is what that did, but all right. Align items, stretch. So that's wrong. So it needs to go here. It's already there though. So I guess I just need to make this flex. So display flex. Ha, ha, ha. All right, so we got a few things to fix. So we need to put our blog nav item into be display flex, and then we're going to align items stretch here. And then we're going to set these, well, this should grow and shrink. This should not. Oh, that's shrink. I want it to shrink. I don't want it to grow. You know, I don't know. We'll see here in a second what I want. All right. So here, if we 50%, flex shrink, flex grow. So then I wonder if we do flex, not flex grow, flex direction, and set that to be column. Yes. And then justify content, not stretch, justify items, I'm sorry. Whoops. Okay, so we do have, let's set our blog nav item to be flex direction column. Perfect. So then if we do flex shrink, maybe if we do wrap, let's do no wrap. There we go. Okay. So we can then do no wrap, and then at, oh wait, no. So it needs to be wrap at small screen sizes, but then at our small break, have it change flex wrap to be no wrap. And then Jeez. Oh, remove flex. This one here. I think it's that one. Yes. Okay. I thought it was that one, but maybe it's this one too. All right. There we go. All right. So we're getting closer. Then this needs to have our flex grow. No. Jeez. Okay. All right. So flex, grow 1. Okay. That'll do just fine. So that means I can set our, that should be that for the small size. And then we can do flex, grow 1. Let it refresh. Taking its sweet old time. Brings me all the way up to the top every time. All right, and so if we get rid of this and just do, say, auto, which this is actually default, but that's okay. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. So now as it goes smaller, we then force it to wrap, but it should look fine for all of them. Okay, well that was a long way to do this, but we got it done. And then even looks good on wrap. Let's round these. So we can do include rounded. We'll see if this works. It needs to be where the border is, though. Okay. Perfect. All right. So that's good. Let's add just a quick hover effect on each of these. So, and hover, not P. Hover, we can do border, we can set it to white. Then we can do color to white. And then background color to dark primary. Oh, and then we need to do transition for sure. It needs to be all. Same thing here. And then, so this will work for the next side. Color inside. Previous title is it's a P. So we do P. Color, and then we can do the same thing with the fill, which should affect the SVG. I think the problem is that I need the color. Oh, the fill prop is right there. So I just need to change that to be current color. Do the same thing up here. I don't even know if it's, oh, it is a prop. It's property. If that works. Shouldn't be black though. Oh. It's because it's not in the P. So let's do an SVG. There's that. And then we can just do the same thing on the other side. And I wish I could have put these into the same one. And I probably could have used a different class, but then what's the point, honestly? There we go. It's going well. How are you doing? Thanks for checking in tonight. Today, whatever time it is for you. It's night for me. All right, so we've got this all styled up and good. Love that. So now we can check that off our to-do list. So we have our next. So let's go ahead and move to our categories. Yeah, we're making good time. So we can do a, you know, on the image, it's probably not going to make a whole lot of sense to put the categories there. So I think what we need to do in our related posts, so blog, we've got our related posts, our postcard, and we already have the whole post coming down. So, oh, all of this is gross. We can get rid of all of that. Great. And then under the date, we can add some categories. Oh, Lord, 4 a.m. Not for me, friend. Not for me. Div. We can then pass in our categories, which should be an array. So we actually need to check first. So post dot categories, content dot category. And if that does exist, we can map those out. So next step then is to do our post content category dot map. Then we're going to have our category with the type of category, which is not how that works. Category. And let's we'll add the index as well. Then we can do this. Category. Okay, and so it already types it as category for me. So then we will just do, in this div, we can just do, yeah, span is probably good. And I think we can just use our category dot ID. Yeah, let's type it, category. Perfect. And then we can do our, I just don't want to do a type check on it. Dot title. It should be, oh, this needs to come up here. Oh, that comes down there. Okay, so just one of my brackets got deleted, no biggie. So doing that should already add our categories right there. Those are obviously too big though. So we're gonna do class name, host category, and then for each of these, we'll do class name, classes, category, we'll do text. That makes more sense there. So category, text, post category. And then we're going to go over, oops, to our classes. And we'll probably make this category into a new component on its own, but that's fine. We'll do that later. So this should actually be post categories since it's the container. All right. Post categories. We will do, first of all, let's get this to be smaller. So we'll do font size, and then we'll do color to be our dark primary 70, which should just make it be more like the date. There we go. Probably a little small. Let's bring it back up to 0.9. All right, and then we can do, let's, do I want to do commas or do I want to do, oh, let's do pills. So for the span, we can do, I think I have, and include BG pill. Yep. All right. And so then we're going to do a background color. We have a secondary color. Let's see what that looks like. Secondary. I don't know what the color that is. Is that just white? Let's do, not accent, that's too bright. Light primary, let's do dark secondary, because that white's just too much. Dark secondary. I don't think this BG pill is doing anything. Oh. Dark secondary. Oops. Let this reload. All right, so then we don't want dark primary, obviously, so we can just do light primary. We don't need to do 70. Okay, then we can do something like padding, a lot smaller than that, 1.125 to give it a little bit of breathing room. We'll do a display. Oh, not in there though. I don't know what's going on with my fast refresh here. Keeps bringing me up to the top. Display flex, gap, 1.25 rem. See what this does for us. All right, looks very ugly, doesn't it? So let's do wrap. Oops, flex wrap. Wrap. There's that. So these now are kind of too big. So let's set that there and then set this to be maybe even like 0.75 within our 0.125 rem, because they don't really need to be like very well seen. Then we can do, let's say, a margin top. Okay, cool. Don't love this actually. Let's just do a border top. Do dark primary. And then margin top and padding top. And cut these in half. Yeah, I just don't like that it's well, let's see here. So if we do no. Yeah, let's just we'll set the color to be that. We won't make it a pill, because it just looks too sloppy. And then I think what we could do in post categories, let's actually make this be a background color. And see, this is why you need to have a designer before you just start doing stuff. It's so hard to design and code at the same time. Okay, yeah, don't like that either. So let's leave it like that. I like the font size how it is. There's a stretch, that's okay. And I don't think I'll ever have 4 categories, so why don't we do that instead? Let's get rid of this, and then we're gonna set a max number of categories to 2. So if I can go to our post config, here's our collections, our posts. Now I need to organize this some. All right. Content. Row, authors, category. Can I set max 2? Oh. I don't know why that was still there then. It says it's deprecated, so don't use max if you're trying to use your relationship fields. All right, so now if I refresh, our plus button should go away. Or no, because that's to create, but I can't, I guess I can select more. Will it let me save if I do that? No. All right. So now we have everything with 2 categories. So that works. I like it. Cool with me. No biggie. A couple things that I wanted to change here while we're on the blog before we go and try to mess with our components a little bit more. Let's reduce the font size of our cards title, the author. I think I can do all that here. So we've got our card title. Let's just set that to be 1 rem. And then our authors, I guess maybe I have in a component. I don't. Okay, so yeah, that looks good. I do want to also card title. Is that what I just changed? Yes. Card title. Where's my authors? Oh, maybe I didn't set, and that's why. Yep, I did not. Okay. Featured author, which I don't know why is it featured. Can I just do author? I'm going to say yes because this is not anything. All right, so then we can just set color to be our dark primary. And then let's set our font size to be 0.9. And I'm cool with the color. Excuse me. Great. All right, so that looks good. And then I think we can take some of the margin out here. So margin bottom, maybe 0.25. Okay, and then the title, do the same thing. Card, wait. Inspect. All right, so that's apparently, okay, so this might, is this a line height thing then? Do line height of 1? Yes, it is. All right, so, but I don't want it to apply to my categories. You know, I don't hate it. All right, so let's leave it like that. I'm going to reset this server real quick because it just feels so sluggish. Okay, and then we're going to come up to our blog, and then too far, our title, sidebar, breadcrumbs, blog title, and we're going to set this font size to be a little bit less. I definitely don't like that it wraps so much, especially in my longer blog titles. Okay, that's definitely not enough though. If we do 2 rem, 2 may be too much. It is indeed. Okay, so let's inspect and then do this good old-fashioned way here. So that's 1, so 1.5. Then I think we can just do that. And then maybe 1.6, 0.7, we'll do 1.6. So I like that. Copy and paste it. And I can't even copy it right. 1.6. All right, so we save that. And we're in good shape there. All right, so the last thing that I want to do then Oh yeah, this is moving much faster. New featured post, future blog. Let's find, is it here? It's here. All right, so we got to figure out these images. And actually, I think if we figure it out in the home page, we figure it out everywhere. So let's go to our pages. And we can get rid of this. And this is our cleanup components part. So we're getting close to a wrap up here. Been going for about an hour. Probably got another like 20 minutes or so. If I can finish this that quickly. We'll see. It may go a little bit longer. All right. So what is this comma? Oh, I see it up there. All right. So the problem that I'm seeing is that in each of my blocks, the image is undefined. And I can see that most clearly here in the content URL of my image object schema. So let's check in show blocks. This is my block renderer. All right, so we'll start not content, no media. It should be here. So blocks.image.image. Is that really all it's going to do to fix it? This is content with media down here. Yes, it is. Okay. Let's see something first here because I should just be able to do blocks. Then put all of this here. Okay, so that doesn't quite work like I want it to. What is the error though? Okay, let's take a look in here. I mean, I don't see any errors. Which just tells me then that in this image object, I need something with image dot. Well, you know, I don't think it matters that much. But really, what's happening? Block type. You know what? Oh well. Because that works and that's perfect. So card section then blocks card image. Does image even exist on card section? Oh, okay. So that one makes sense. I just need to get it to be image props, which is wrong. So do we have our type anywhere here? No. So we're going to import type, media. That's what I'm looking for. Media from payload types. And then we can do as image props. All right, so a few things are happening here, and one thing handy about PayloadCMS is that I can actually, in each of these cards, in the config, we can use brainwork interface name to do all this for me, so I don't actually need to make my own type. So we'll go to our, it's not collection, it'll be under our blocks here. Card section, and then at the bottom we'll add an interface name, and this will be just card section. So we'll do that, and then we need to do payload generate types, and I'm just going to do this once as a demonstration and then fix all of my blocks to make sure that they have an interface name. But now I should be able to come in here and import card section as card section props. Oops, need a comma there. And so what I should be able to do is just pass in, really I think I just need to do cards, and really it should just be card. So we can do card and then do card.active, card.header section. What are you missing? So then header, well, let's fix this first. So what are you missing again? We'll do cards.length. So here I think I just need to add a length prop and set that to number. Then we can do, oh, it does take all the cards because it's going to the card grid. Okay. So card map. Yep, okay. And then we'll take cards. And then this will be card section props as an array. And then set this to be cards. Oh, I'm breaking everything. Well, this is what I signed up for. All right, so we're going to go back over to our blocks. We're going to bring this to be 50% or less than 50% and set this to be most of the screen. And then we're going to go to our header config. Or our header, no, because it's not a block. But it is in our card section. And then we go to our header section, and here I believe we should be able to do interface name, and this can be header section, which we'll do. We'll set it to props just to make it extremely clear what I'm doing. And then after that, we need to do our card, which is not a block. So I think I just need to set this, instead of all of that, to be card. I forgot what this is already called. Card section from types. All right, get rid of that. And then I guess and HTML. React.html attributes HTML div element. Does that not give me class name? All right, well, let's do it this way. All right, so we have type card section props, or I guess really card props. And then we can do and HTML or this, because that's going to get hard to read anyway. And then we're going to have card section. Card props. I guess I can do class name string. Weird. Okay. Oh boy. What did I get myself into? So I don't think I'm going to need this. Will not. Okay, so I think this might be a little bit beyond what I'm trying to do. Well, wait, I haven't done my... I haven't generated types yet. So we've got our header section, and then we've got our card array here. So at the bottom of this, I'll then do interface name card. And then let's generate types. See if this helps. You guys are along on the journey with me. Just out here learning. All right, so we are going to import type, media, sure, button, card section. Then we're going to have card as card props. Just do card. So then we've got class name. So card. Okay, so that's still good. Card dot. So many props that I don't actually want. Because why isn't include button a part of it? So is that... Boy, what have I done? Let's start with the header then. So in here, header type, we're going to import type header, wrong, header section props. And then this should be header section props. And React.html attributes, HTML div element should give me class name. Is ID. Okay. All right, so that fixes the header. That's a good sign. So now we need to fix our card, which is just a bigger beast, is really all that is. All right, so in our card section config, we have is primary. So group buttons. So here, our name button. This needs to be interface name card button props. Okay. Should be that one good. All right. Include button. All right, so we've got our card array here. Close admin, min, row, then under our fields array, that's that. So interface name card should be there. So card, we then have our card button props. And then we can do const, do class name, rest. I mean, that's not even what we need. Equals card. So we've got class name. I need include button, which is not there for some reason. So that must be on a different type. And then we need, all right, so card props. We've got our card, And then we also have our button, which will be card button props. Okay, so nothing there, but if I do button, okay, making progress, and then we want our image. Image for card header. All right, so I just need to undo all of this because I'm trying to back into this, but I actually just need to redesign this component. So what I'm going to do to close out this stream is get this back to working. So local history, show history for this file. Okay, so let's revert that. Okay, so then here, we can then just do image. Okay, nope, image. Oh, and then class name should be card image. Okay. And then in our card section, let's go ahead and back this out a little bit. I'll fix the header again though. Because this will be cards dot. Oh, okay. So what I'm trying to do is retrofit this before. What does this need to be? Header section props. Like I'm gonna have to redesign these is what it's boiling down to. Okay, header text. So this should be working again, but it is not. So let's just go back to local history on this one too then. To earlier tonight. Okay. Let me get rid of that. Blocks header section. Weird. Well, let's spin it up and see if it works. And then I do know that content with video, that blocks is probably fine. CTA, logos. We'll take a look at that in a second. Steps with icons, that one as well. All right, so let's refresh and see what's still broken, which is probably everything. Any minute now. Okay, yep, there's that, there's that, there's that. We got our cards that are messed up still. So, come back to that in a second. Do we still have logos? We still have videos. Don't have logos, so show blocks. We'll do logos equal blocks dot content. This may actually be inside here. So I'm passing in logos. As long as the header's there, I'm cool with that. Media props. Dot. Jeez. Got our logos. Blocks. Okay. And we got our pain points. We got our media as media props. Yeah, so all of this should be working. Okay. All right, so I need to fix this type. But that does work. So then if I come back over here to our logos, client logos, and do okay. So something deeper happening on that one for sure. So I'm gonna have to take a look at that one, but pain points are working again. Got steps. Let's do steps with icons. Back to my block renderer. Okay, I'm gonna have to adjust the logo size or the icon size. Everything else should be fine except for our logos. And just to double check, make sure I have it. Okay. I mean, I already know that that's its type. So that's more than just implied. So we're good there. All right, and then we'll come back up to our hero section. Oh wait, let's go to our cards. Card section, and do card dot image. And I think this needs to be cards. Nope. That just needs to be header section because I have it. We're good there. All right. All right, we got our cards back. But the problem is that I need, so I'll go to card here. So we need the image. So that should be working, but it is not. So let's fix the hero section, and then we'll come back to this another day. Cool. So coming back up here to hero, hit that. Then we've got our image in our hero section. All right. So we got everything working again, which I think is a big deal. So we do need to fix the cards. So there's a lot that needs to happen actually. So don't love ending that way. But if we come here, we are going to redo our rich text renderer with a way that I have done it in a tutorial video, so that'll be coming out soon. So we're going to keep doing this, clean up type issues, and then we can move on from there. And I may do some of this cleaning up while I'm just hanging out, because I don't want to come into the stream and just struggle again. So we will get that all fixed up and see what happens. But I really appreciate you guys joining in. Had some good engagement this time, so happy with that, proud of that. If you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I do live streams like this once or twice a week, and then I've got tutorial videos that come out every Tuesday. If you do miss one of these, I do post them, so you can always come back and watch it. So that's all I've got today. Don't forget to like the content, share it if it was helpful, and I'll see you on the next one.